Hey everybody, it's the Trout, and welcome to another episode of the Trout Show. Thank you so much for stopping by. It was only about a year ago that I sat down and talked to a wonderfully talented young lady, Kiersi Joli, who plays a mean blues harp. That's harmonica for those people not into the industry. She talked about how she started when she was just, I think, 7 or 8 years old and how she became better and better. Well, now a year later, I got an opportunity to talk to her again. She's played at a lot of festivals. She's won multiple awards, and now she's released her first single. It's called Hey There Blues. In fact, you heard a little bit of that right before you got to see me. So she talks about how she got a wonderful nonprofit to help her out to get to the studio, and how she continues to grow her fan base and her ability to write better music all the time. And I look forward to seeing a lot of her in the near future. So sit back and enjoy this episode with 16-year-old now, Kiersi Joli, a phenomenal blues harp player. That's next on The Trout Show. So let's talk about the beginning here. It's been a year. You've been real busy. Tell me what you've been kind of doing. I mean, I see your post on Instagram and socials, but tell me what you've been doing to promote yourself. And we'll get to the song in a minute.
Yeah, well, a lot of it has just been going out and playing. This past year, I've had quite a few festivals that I've been playing at, and I've got a couple more things that I'm playing at as well for the rest of the summer. But I'm not one to really love being on social media.
Yeah, I don't either.
Um, yeah. But it's a great way to network, and I've met so many of my friends through Instagram, and so many of the people that I know um, through Instagram and through that kind of just seeing their posts. And so I've really started to just continue to post like all about my journey, and it's so fun to go back and look at photos from where I
Mm.
was like a few years ago even to now, and be like, just see the growth through my talent that's happened.
The funny thing about it is this, is when you get in your 20s, you look at these pictures going, I look like a kid. Well, of course, you were a kid.
Yeah.
So tell me, the festivals you play, are they, what is it, just different types of people playing? Or, I mean, they all have a theme, I assume, behind them.
Well, yeah, the back in May I went to a Women in Blues festival in Florida. And it was so great down there. I had so much fun, and I got to play with a band, and it was a bunch of women just coming around and playing great blues music. And I got to play harmonica for a couple of the people that were up there, a couple of the women that were up there, and it was I had such a fun time because it was just like a family down there,
Hmm.
and we all got together and we just talked, and before the shows, and we hung out, and there was this little green room that we would just talk and tell stories behind before our show. And we'd get up, we'd perform, and it was such a great experience to just be around a bunch of other women who are doing this genre that you don't often hear women
No,
doing.
no, you don't.
And so it was just a really great experience. It was so incredible to be down there and be a part of it too. This past weekend, I was in North Carolina for the Black Mountain Blues Festival.
Mm.
And if you haven't been to Black Mountain, that is a beautiful place to go. It was incredible seeing all the mountains around us, and you felt yourself in nature, but you were also kind of like in a town as
Hmm.
well.
Hmm.
And I got to perform Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it was just such a cute little quaint town, and everyone was so friendly, and you didn't feel out of place, and it was just so much fun. That was one of the most fun shows I've ever gotten to play at, because I did my performance and then I was asked to play with Piper and the Hard Times, who were the 2024 IBC winners.
Mm.
Um, and so I went and played with them on Friday night, and I had such a fun time. It was so fun playing with them, and it was a really rocking night. Um, and it was so cool just to meet so many people. And there was a youth panel that we had done on Sunday, or no, Saturday. Um, and I got to meet a couple of well, not kids, I think they were um, teenagers. But they do a band, and it it's so nice to meet a bunch of people who are just in your same boat, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And share experiences and stories and just understand that we all are a family, and playing the blues, it doesn't matter what age you are. You can
No.
always play.
Yep.
Um, so yeah.
That's the one thing that as you get older, that's why a lot of the blues artists are older because nobody cares.
Mhm.
It's like if you've been, it doesn't matter if you go watch the blues performers and they're 20 or they're 70, it doesn't matter. People just hear them and they start playing it, and they don't. It's not like Pop World and everything else where they got, oh, I got to have the look and all that stuff. But the
Mhm.
other thing about it for you though is you're enjoying what you're doing. Of course, you're playing all the time, which you get better, and then you're talking to your peers and they show you like, how do you do that? That little lick
Mhm.
right there, that's we do that with guitar players all the time. Like, I never thought about that. But then the other part of it is one day you'll be doing it and you're having a good time and you're getting paid to do it. That's really
Yeah.
that's the best part about it. It's like, there's the good side about it. It's like, oh, I love what I'm doing. I get paid to do it. But the bad side about it is I have to have another gig. I have to, I mean, I
Mhm.
know you're living your mom and all that stuff now, but as you get older, you're like, okay, and then you're just on tour all the time, which now everybody's on tour. I mean, because you don't
Yeah.
make any money selling records, but so you have to be on tour. So let me ask you real quick. Have you, and I don't know whether you've done, have you developed, I think you do. Have you got merchandise already? Have you got that developed so you can sell it?
We haven't really gotten that. We did one time, we had little shirts that we did when I was 8 or 9, something like that. I was pretty young. Well, younger than I am now. But we stopped doing those for a little bit, and I think we're gonna try to work back into doing that kind of merchandise thing. Now that I'm starting to have some songs be released and everything like that. Because we were in North Carolina, and I had gotten asked. My dad was wearing my one of my old T-shirts that we'd
Mm-hmm.
made a while back, and this guy had come up. He was like, "Where can I get that shirt?" And we were like, "Well, unfortunately, we don't make that shirt anymore." So we're definitely looking back into making some more merchandise. But I have like stickers now that I'll give to
Mm-hmm.
people, and if they want me to sign them, I'll sign them. And we also have like some blues magazines that I put an advertisement in that I've started taking to some of these festivals to um, give out and everything.
When were you approached? I know you're really good at performing, but were you approached by somebody? I know you've been writing to about recording, or was that somebody you went out and found somebody? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I went out and found this great nonprofit organization called Notes for Notes. They're based in California, I believe, but they have a bunch of studios here in Tennessee as well. I found them online through another friend of mine who went through them for a little bit to record some of his stuff, and right now his name is eluding me. Um,
It's okay. It'll come
happens
to
at the
you.
time you
It'll
need
come to you. I know. It'll come to you later.
it.
Trust me, it will.
And so we had went, and I had met some of their producers, and I realized how great of an organization it was.
Hmm.
And you know, they made it such a tight network family that you just felt right at home with all of them, and it didn't feel like it was strict. It didn't feel like, okay, we need to get in, get this done,
Mm.
get out. They really took the time to know me and to get a feel for what I do and how I do things, and understand what I wanted for the song and my goals for how I wanted the song to turn out. So it was really cool to meet all of them and start my journey with them and have my first song be released through them as well. So,
How many songs did you record when you went? Did you just do the one, or did you decide that you have time to do more than one?
well, we had decided to focus on the one song. I do have other songs that I'm currently working with them on, but this we had realized, and I think it was something that God had really laid into our lap, that this song was Hey There Blues was one of the first original songs I co-wrote when I was in Tennessee.
Mm.
When we had moved, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna work with some peers who have been writing, and I'm gonna co-write. And I went into a room with Corey Lee Barker and Ava Page, and they both knew that I played blues harmonica,
Hmm.
and so we had decided that we were going to write a blues song, and the song Hey There Blues came out of it. And this was back in 2019 or 20 early 2020 when we had first moved out here to
Mm.
Tennessee. And we wrote this song, and I just played it and played it and played it, and I've been playing it at a bunch of my shows since we wrote this song, and I have just developed that song into what I believe it was truly meant to turn out as, and then to record it and have it be the first original song that I release. It was so cool to kind of go through that journey, and have Notes for Notes go through that journey with me as well.
How many people were performing on it?
Um, let's see. So I had my friend Locke Thornton come in and put some slide guitar on it and some regular electric guitar, and it just he is such a talented guitarist, and he's so humble about it too. And
He is good, and
um,
I forgot about him. I need to talk to him sometime because he's really good. I remember seeing him last year, and it was like, you know, he's phenomenal
definitely
already
do,
at a young age. Yeah.
yeah. He's kind of doing his own stuff, getting his own band together and going out and performing. Um, but I got him in to put some electric guitar and slide on my song, and it made the song feel like how it was meant to sound.
Hmm.
And it was so great seeing how the slide worked so well in that song, and then putting it together with my harmonica too. And it made the song come together. And then Notes for Notes has a bunch of people in their studio that play a bunch of instruments. And so I think a lot of the other instruments that are in there were done by people from the Notes for Notes
Hmm.
organization as well. And then I'm doing the acoustic guitar on it, and then I'm doing harmonica and the vocals.
And so they brought in the drummer and the bass player or whatever that
Hmm.
added on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it, and I know you've been to studio before, but was it intimidating at all? I mean, usually when you first time you go to studio, especially a really nice studio, you're like, I don't know if I'm worthy of this. I mean, how did you feel?
I mean, yeah, kind of that way. Like, I went in and I kind of had like that kind of, oh, like laid back, maybe keep to myself a little bit. It was a little nerve-wracking. And I'm not one to get too nervous whenever it comes to things. But once I got to know them, I really started to open up, and it was so nice just kind of talking to them for a little bit and really getting to know who they are and who like and them getting to know who I am and kind of growing into that relationship and working on this song and seeing the song grow as our friendships grew as well
Mhm.
in the organization. And so after a little bit, I felt right at home. And my mom could really tell because she knows how I am at the house and she knows how I am with new people, and so
Yeah,
she could
yeah,
really tell when I really started to open up to them as
sure.
well.
Yeah.
So it was really nice, and it didn't take very long to get really comfortable and um, to know them really well.
Has it been released or it's getting better? I don't remember what.
It has been released. It was
Okay.
released last Friday.
Okay. And what are you going to do with it? Now that you've got it, you've got the song, how are you going to promote yourself?
Well, a lot of it has been I've been going out, and when I play before it was released, um, I would put it in my set list and I would be like, this song is coming out this day and this time, so definitely go download it and everything. And it's really cool to now be able to be like, this song has been released.
Mm.
If you like it, go download it, go stream it. Um, and so it's kind of heartwarming knowing that I have this song that I'm so proud of and how it
Mhm.
turned out, and to be able to go out and be like, you can officially listen to this song anytime you'd like. And it was really cool. And I like what you said earlier about like not being able to even sometimes repeat what you play when you're playing an
Yeah.
instrument. Um, and that's kind of what I think about whenever I'm playing harmonica. A lot of my harmonica is just feel.
Hmm.
And I play what I feel, and if it comes out good, it comes out good. If it comes out bad, I say, well, we're redoing that.
Yeah.
And but it's just something you feel deep inside, and I love when it comes out when someone listens to it as well. And I love when you when you see someone listen to it, um, and you can tell that they feel it just by listening to it through a little device that they're holding. And it's amazing to know that my feelings crossed into this song and to them as well.
It is a remarkable thing when you think about it. And the great thing about music is it's communicating. It doesn't matter what language you speak.
Mhm.
I'm always impressed by people I've interviewed that go to Europe and play. What was I was talking to one time, and they said they got over there and they started singing a song, and they don't speak English. I don't know what country they
Yeah.
were in, and they were all singing the song to the, I mean, the words to the lyrics, and he's like, "It's just weird," and I go, "No, it's not. They heard your music all the time. Every time you go out and play now, you can say, hey, you know, let me get my phone out. Here's the name.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Yeah.
You know, it's right here." And I kind of envision you're taking the long, not long road, but you're taking your time.
Mhm.
I mean, people forget when they start hearing you because you're such a great player already, how old you are. Are you 16
Mhm.
yet?
I am 16, yeah.
Oh, car driver now. Um, I always ask parents, your kid's 16? Tell me what car they're driving so I can make sure I stay out of the way when I'm in the road. Um, um, but they forget you have a real life.
Yeah.
You got to go to school. It's not like you can't. What was I working with? They finally, I'm trying to remember somebody I know, maybe it's somebody you know about. They ended up homeschooling their kid because they were doing so much stuff. I said, well, when's he going to school? No, 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 we're to homeschool him now because we got to go here and we got to go there, we got to, and that kind of thing.
And
Uh,
that's exactly what happened with me. We moved, well, I originally was homeschooled in Missouri before we moved and my whole music started to pick up and I really started to go out and perform. Um, But when we moved out here, we realized what a blessing it was to be homeschooled because I was going here and I was going there and I was doing this and I had to co-write this morning. And homeschooling gave me that freedom of being able to do all of that and still have a way to learn and to grow in my education. Um, and it also gave me the freedom to learn about my music. This past year, I took music theory and oral theory, the singing portion
Mm-hmm.
and sight singing portion of theory, and I took it this past year, and I realized how much it has helped me to grow in my music playing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't really sight read that much, and I don't look at a paper and go, oh, I can, play that perfectly. It comes back to feel again, and how it feels to me. But it was it was such a great thing for me to be able to have that time to really focus on what I wanted to do instead of um, focusing on what schools nowadays are teaching you to go off to college to learn something that you might get paid well at, but it's not something that you love to do. I mean, it,
Right.
it always could be. We all have different passions and everything, but with music, it's such a hard thing to really have that focus of schoolwork and music. So homeschooling was one of the great things that happened and allowed me to focus on my music as well as learning my education.
Well, the other part about it is, as you know, creativity is not something you know when it's coming.
Mhm.
I'm not, you never know when that thing's going to hit you. And if you're sitting in class at 1 o'clock in some class and you're going like, oh man, I got this idea. It's over. I mean, you might all write down, it's like that. But now,
Yeah.
because you can do what you want to do, you can sit, I mean, obviously within reason, but I mean, now you can go, hold on,
Mhm.
let's write this down. May go somewhere, it may not, but you just don't know. Well, here's a
Yeah.
question for you, because this is the thing that always happened to me. I, w- I always wanted to be a guitar player that sings, not a singer that plays guitar. But
Mhm.
inevitably, when people heard me, they would go, wow, I didn't know you could sing. I go, what about my guitar playing? Oh, you're really good, but what about, and I'm going like, no, 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 no. So I would bet you want to be a harmonica player that sings, not a singer that plays harmonica.
Well, that's kind of thing I want to be it all. I I don't harmonica is my main instrument and it is what I excel at. Um, but I love that I'm not known as just a harmonica player or
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
a singer or just
Sure.
a guitar player.
Yeah.
I'm known as this mix of all three, and it's so great to know. And back when I first started singing as well as playing harmonica, I would just play the backing tracks, and I would just play harmonica to
Hmm.
these backing tracks and, sing in my little girl voice and and
Yeah.
I would have so much fun. And then when we moved out here, I realized, well, I can't have a backing track when I'm playing a songwriter's round and
No.
everything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And so I got my guitar and I had a couple of teachers who taught me the basics. And my teacher right now, Nikki Hines, he is teaching me kind of like incorporating all the scales and everything like that into my playing and different positions. And everything like that. And so it's really cool to see how far my guitar has come from just playing three chords to
Hmm.
being able to play all of my songs on guitar, no matter what key it's in. And then when I moved out here, I also realized, well, if I'm really wanting to take this somewhere, I have to learn to focus on my voice as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I found a great vocal coach, and I got with him once a month. And to see, I started with him August of 2 years. Um, Maybe a little before that. Maybe it's only been like a year and a half.
Right.
But I got with him, and to see the exponential growth of where I was when I started with him and to where I am now, it it's been life changing, really. And being able to now get compliments on my voice and
Mm.
not just my harmonica.
Mm-hmm.
Because I go on stage and they see this young girl and they don't know how I'm going to start singing, and they don't know how I'm going to start playing harmonica. And to see, to look out into the crowd and to not only see them kind of have that, oh wow, she's a great singer look,
Mm-hmm.
but then they get that, whoa, she's an amazing harmonica player as well.
Yeah.
And people will come up and they'll be like, your harmonica sounded awesome and your voice is amazing. And I'm like, thank you. Because I worked so
Oh
hard on
yeah.
this gift that I was given to make it to where I'm not just solely one thing. And that's what I was going for when I started loving music, and really focusing on developing how I wanted to turn out as a musician.
People love to hear the blues, but it's not something everybody wants to hear.
Yeah.
So you might, and I'm sure you've ran into this, probably your friends, you go, well, what do you play? I play a blues harmonica. What's that? And then you play it and you go, I'd rather listen to Taylor Swift. Okay, whatever. But when you get in front
Hmm.
of your peers and you're playing at a festival and it's a blues festival and you hear them, they're like, whoa, that's really what it's about.
One of the big things is, I know how to play. I know what I'm doing on my instrument and I know how to take that. But when it comes to the business side of things,
Mm,
I'm a little, I'm less knowledgeable
yeah.
on that side. And so that was one of the big things that I was like looking at colleges. I was like, I want to learn the business side. I want to know like how they think on that side and how to have that knowledge just for when as I'm growing and getting older, and so I know what to look out for, what to expect, um really how to protect myself from things that could potentially happen. um because not everybody wants to sign you because you're good, and you don't always need to be signed to
No.
become something. And so I just, that was one of the big things when I was looking for colleges. I was like, I want to know this side of the music world.
Are you booking? I mean, who's helping you? Or do you, obviously you're good at it. Are you looking up all these places to go and try to play at, or are you getting somebody to help you do that, or is that all on your own?
A lot of it is, I mean, Instagram. Instagram is a big source, and I'll go to some of the people that I'm following and see who they're following, and
Hmm.
I'll be like, oh, okay, this they're following this person or this organization, and I'll like kind of scroll through that organization's Instagram, see what they're about, and I'm like, you know what, I think they'd be a good thing to like follow and be there and see what goes on. And I'll go to my mom sometimes because she's like, we call her the momager. She's my sort of manager kind of side of
I
things,
like that,
keeping me,
momager. I like that name though. That's cool.
yeah, yeah, keeping me on track and helping me out. So she does help me out sometimes uh, with some things, but most of it is me looking on Instagram and just kind of finding these things. for the festival that I was most recently at, the Black Mountain Blues Festival,
Mm-hmm.
the girl who kind of spearheaded it, Melissa McKinney, she was at the IBCs and she had made it to the finals.
Mm.
And so we had met her through the IBCs, and she reached out to me and had asked if I wanted to play at her festival. And I was like, yeah, of course. And it wasn't till a little bit after that we had realized that that's who she was and that we had met her from the IBCs. And when we had realized this, we were like, "Oh my gosh, that's who that was. She was amazing at the IBCs." And it was so cool to make that friendship through something that we had both kind of done, doing the IBCs and everything like that. Um, so yeah, a lot of it was just going on to Instagram, scrolling, searching, seeing who other people follow, and kind of just reaching out through Instagram or emailing them. And a lot of places locally in Nashville are places that you have to go into and like be a part of their songwriters round so that they
Mm.
have just being an audience member and getting to know them first.
Right.
And then when you feel close, like you learn how to um become that sort of family as well. And you finally get up there and it already feels familiar to you because
Mm-hmm.
you've been there and you know who you're playing with and you know who you're working with and everything. One of the first harmonica teachers I ever had, he introduced me to the blues, and it was so cool to be able to feel something so much that I really, I mean, I haven't been broken up with, I haven't dated anyone. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I
I
meant
haven't
earlier.
had a bunch of like experiences, but there's something about the blues that you feel no matter what. No matter how old you are, no matter what you're playing, there's something that just moves you in the
Mm-hmm.
blues. And the blues was the genre of music that made me realize that I wanted to continue to play. And I learned how to play country music on harmonica as well, um and now I'm starting to kind of go into that combined genre, of taking blues and country and a little bit of rock and turning it into this kind of mixed genre,
Mm-hmm.
and putting myself into this place where not many people go and realizing how much I love to play it because it makes me feel so good,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it when I can see that my music makes others in the audience feel so good.
Hey there, blows, my old friend. Won't you tell me how you been? Pull up a chair and won't you stay for a while? My baby done and gone and I can't find my smile. Hey there, blows, been too long. Won't you sing me a heartbreak song? Hit me with a love gone wrong, soft melody. Won't you tell